Imagine receiving a spreadsheet containing several thousand customer records. Processing this manually means hours of cleaning inconsistent values, removing duplicates, and calculating totals one row at a time. It is a slow process that creates frequent opportunities for mistakes. A Python program can perform these steps repeatedly using a clear set of instructions. It can open the file, correct the values, and save separate reports into a chosen folder automatically. To begin, you need to confirm that Python is available from your terminal or command prompt. Once confirmed, open your code editor and create a dedicated folder for your practice files. Keeping these files organized prevents confusion as your projects grow. Building this tracker allows the computer to manage the logical steps, while you focus on reviewing the final results. First, create a new file inside your practice folder and name it progresstracker.py. To test the connection, write a simple print command, such as print Python is ready. Run the file now. If the message appears in your terminal, your environment is functioning and ready for the data. Most programs need to store groups of related values. In Python, we use a list to hold a collection of items in a specific order. To organize specific details for a single item, like a student's name, their score, and their completed lessons, we use a dictionary to connect keys with values. These use different symbols. Lists are defined by square brackets, while dictionaries use curly braces. We will start by creating a list of dictionaries. For the first record, enter Anita's data, 8 lessons completed and a score of 78. Add a comma, then enter a second dictionary for Omar. Add the final record for Daniel. We now have 3 structured records stored inside a single list. Organizing your data this way allows Python to process every record using the same logic, regardless of how many items are in the list. Now we need to define the rules for our tracker. We will write a function that evaluates a student's progress based on the numbers we just entered. The first rule checks 2 conditions. If a student has completed at least 8 lessons and scored 70 or more, they are classified as on track. If they don't meet that rule but have finished at least 5 lessons, they are progressing. All other students will be marked as support recommended. Pay close attention to the empty space before these rules. Python uses indentation to define which instructions belong inside the function. To apply these rules to every student automatically, we initiate a for loop. Inside the loop, the program will extract the completed value from the dictionary. It then extracts the corresponding score value. These 2 values are passed into the classification function we wrote earlier. The result of that function is then assigned to a variable named status. Finally, we add a print statement to display the student's name alongside their calculated status. Be careful with the spelling of your dictionary keys. A single typo here will prevent the script from finding the data and cause it to fail. This combination of conditional rules and repetition is the standard pattern used to automate complex data processing tasks. Now it is time to save your work and finally run the file to see the instructions in action. Check your terminal output. You should see that Anita has been correctly identified as on track. You can also verify that Omar is progressing and Daniel is on track. If you see an error instead of these names, remember that mistakes are a normal part of programming. Read the error message from the bottom up. Python will list the exact file and line number where the problem occurred, so you can make a specific correction. Right now, this script currently handles 3 records, but you could scale this same logic to handle thousands of rows by connecting it to a CSV file. In just a few steps, you have converted raw records into a clear status report. This demonstrates how code can replace manual checks with a reliable, automated process.